Hello and welcome to my tutorial on Tiandi. Today we're going to be looking at his basic moveset, his roll in 1v1 and his roll in 4v4. As always, let's take a look at the moveset. So he only really has 4 combos. We have R1, 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 R2, 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 and R2, R1. Very short and simple, very similar to Warden's movesets. And unfortunately, none of these have special properties. The only special property about Tiandi's combos, and this is not applied to the moves themselves, but about what you can do between the moves, is that you are able to dodge cancel after the first hit of any combo. In between your light attack combos, you are able to do a palm strike, which guarantees a light attack. You can also press R2 after the palm strike, but this is not guaranteed, and I believe the reason why this option exists is because if on the chance that you do miss this attack, you can just use this as an option to cancel, so you're not fully open. You can actually do this from neutral as you saw. All you have to do is just hold back while moving and then press square, and this will guarantee the light the same. The main meat of Tiandi is his dodge attacks. So, as we said before, you have the dodge recovery cancels after the first hit of any combo, and this could go into 2 different things. You have the dodge R1s, and then you have the dodge R2s. And this in action will look like this. And doing this is like it's his own way of mixing up, so you don't only have the palm strike, you also have the light attack dodge, or the R2 dodge. But personally, it's a lot less impractical than just the palm strike, but this is good for mix-ups regardless. The dodge R1 for Tiandi is undodgeable. You can see my opponent is desperately trying to escape me, but that is not happening. The dodge R2, or sorry, the dodge R1 also has a special property of being a superior block, or like a counter attack. So if timed correctly, you can get some good damage off of that, and also have it be unblockable. Dodge attack also counts as the first hit of any combo. The dodge R2, at least from the sides, can be chained into different dodge attacks. And you could really go, not infinitely, but, I mean, as long as possible. How long you need. I mean, as long as your stamina stays intact. This can also be chained into the dodge R1, and they can also be cancelled. Tiandi has a massive kick that he can do after any R2 attack by pressing square. This may look impressive, but this does not actually deal any damage. I think it deals a decent amount of stamina damage, makes the opponent stunned, but this does not confirm any attack afterwards. As you can see, he was able to block my heavy R2, or I'm sorry, my dodge heavy. And my light attack is just a little bit too short to reach, even the dodge R1. Now, the only special thing about the kick is that you are able to dodge cancel it. So this makes up some trickery by pressing dodge and then doing a dodge attack of some sorts. Though it's not as threatening as you might realize because the kick isn't that useful in my opinion. I mean, if you're next to a ledge, it'd be good. But other than that, that's just a weird mix-up that you have there as an option. Tiandi has one running attack. This occurs if you press R2 during the sprinting animation. And it only will do, like, pretty much one target at a time. Doesn't really have that great of a hitbox. But it has decent range because of this little, like, animation of him jumping. And also doesn't combo after anything. Tiandi's area attack comes out very fast and has 2 hits. And after the first hit, you can cancel it. You can also cancel this into the dragon kick. Tiandi in a 1v1 is very limited compared to the other vanguards because he himself does not have a great way of opening people up and comboing into the stuff that you can open with. So the only real unblockable that he has to create pressure is the palm strike, but that only guarantees the light attack and nothing else after the light attack. So the way I play Tiandi personally is by pressuring as much as I can with the dodge, because this is sort of confusing, especially the fact that you can feint this. My favorite thing to do is this. So you can go into that and then do the palm strike to make it a little more confusing. You can just start really screwing around with your opponent, but this is the best you can really do. He does not have a lot of great ways to open up your opponent, and a lot of Tiandis normally kind of just default to using the area attack to open up because it's a very fast area attack and does decent damage. The light attacks, at the very least, are somewhat fast, but still not the best thing you could use. And since the heavies don't have anything special to them, it's very difficult to get a good offense going in. So really, Tiandi is like more of a reactionary counter-attack character than he is someone that can just jumpstart his offense. Yep. Now the only time where I feel like the dragon kick is useful is if you had them up against a wall, where they are closer to you, so you can actually guarantee something. This is really the only time where I believe it's useful. And if your opponent realizes this and they actually try and dodge it, this is where you can start mixing those dodge cancels in. But this is very low usage. I mean, there's only in ranked duel where you really like get the best application of this, because you know it's so enclosed. Or if you're just in a place where you're near walls and stuff like that, it's all about using your environment. I will say a benefit to being a Tiandi is that the damage, despite only having 2 hits, is pretty nice. So you can get some decent damage in just by like landing those heavy attacks, and surprisingly the dodge heavy attack deals 1 more damage than the regular heavy starter. So if you land those heavies in unique ways, then you're going to be able to deal some pretty good damage. I mean, regular feints are still pretty good. I actually forgot to mention this, the dodge forward R2 actually has hyper armor, not the immediate start, but at a good time to trade. So let's say this happens. You will be dealing 22 while they'll be dealing 9 to you, so it's a good way to catch people who are using a dodge attack. Tiandi is a very good character in 4v4 for going across the different points because of his speed. I don't believe he's the fastest, but he has perks, like gear perks that relate to him being speedy, especially at the start of every time he respawns. Still pretty decent in the minion lane. He doesn't have the greatest combos to use them for, but his hitboxes are still pretty decent, so you can get some good application of that.
You captured Zone A.
His default feats are Rally Call, Sacrifice, Vital Leech, and Indomitable. So these feats and the way they interact with 4v4s makes him pretty good for just staying on one place and holding down a point if he has to. Especially if you have all of these perks. They're essentially just, if he's low health, he can buff his teammates and buff himself. He can leech life from the enemy, which is awesome. And if he this the cooldown once the feat is actually ready, you just get a shield if you end up going into low health. It's not a big shield, but it's still pretty decent to get you back on track and pair up with the Vital Leech. It's great. Sacrifice is not. I don't think it's really the best perk, but if your teammates are having trouble and you're in a decent position near them and you're with a lot of them, this is pretty nice. You can also like restore their stamina and restore your own stamina. So if you think it's the best path to go to, then you might as well use it. Tiandi's perks are very good for how he plays. He has like 3 different speed-based perks, but the two that are the most notable are Radiant Rebound and Feline. This plays into how he can do backcaps really easily because he can just start the respawn with a speed boost, and he can also be faster as the game goes on, and as long as you're performing very well. And the other ones are kind of just nice little bonuses to the way that he plays. You can capture zones faster with clever tactics, or you can use rapid refresh to get all your feats back as fast as possible, as long as you're performing well, of course. And Remedy is pretty nice, just to make yourself a little more tanky, especially if you're pairing these up with the low health feats. Thank you again for joining me on the Tiandi beginner's tutorial. We went over his basic moveset, his role in 1v1, and his role in 4v4. Thank you very much. Have a good day.